Hi everyone, and welcome back to WordBuddy-GRE-Cast. I'm Irene, and today we're tackling a heavy, dramatic noun for the worst possible outcome. It's the perfect word for describing complete ruin or eternal punishment. That word is perdition. Let's spell it. P-E-R-D-I-T-I-O-N. Perdition is a noun, and it's a very formal word. You'll find it often in religious texts, old literature, and when people want to be very dramatic about a terrible end. So, what does perdition actually mean? Perdition refers to a state of being completely lost or destroyed forever. In a religious sense, it means eternal punishment and suffering after death. But in a general sense, it simply means utter ruin or complete destruction from which there is no escape. It's that feeling of falling into a dark hole that you can never climb out of. Imagine a king in an ancient story who ignores all the warnings of his advisors. He treats his people horribly and makes terrible, greedy decisions. The people who tell the story might warn that his actions will lead to the irreversible destruction of his kingdom. That terrible final fate is perdition. We would say, the ancient prophecy warned of a kingdom destined for perdition if its rulers continued their tyrannical ways. The most common phrase is, the path to perdition. This describes a series of bad choices that lead to a terrible end. For example, his excessive greed and reckless gambling led him down a path to perdition, costing him his home and his family. It sounds very dramatic, right? It implies that once he started making those bad choices, he was headed for total ruin. Another common collocation is eternal perdition. This is used when talking about punishment that never ends. You might hear it in a speech about morality. Many old stories tell of heroes who fought to save their souls from eternal perdition. You can also use it with verbs like escape or face. For instance, in the movie, the main character barely managed to escape perdition after making a deal with a dangerous criminal. Or you could say, the villain was arrogant, refusing to admit his mistakes even as he stood ready to face perdition. In everyday life, you might use it metaphorically to describe a project or a company that is failing completely. For example, without a new plan, the failing company seems headed straight for perdition. It's a way to emphasize that the ruin is absolute. Remember that perdition is a very strong, formal word. Use it when you are discussing a profound, irreversible ruin, either spiritual or a complete destruction of life and status. That's all the time we have for today. And if you'd like to dig deeper into perdition or explore other GRE words, check out WordBuddy.AI. We've got the full GRE-Cast series waiting for you to learn more. Thanks for listening, and see you in the next episode.